everyone. I'm going to come on just a little bit early this morning so I can make some announcements. And let's see, if I come up close, it's because I'm looking to see, is somebody putting something on there? Should I be saying hi to somebody? I know Dimitri likes to watch. I know Lincoln has figured out we're back online again. And I talked to a mom yesterday, Jennifer. And she was asking about when to pick up the grab and go bags to go with the story hour. And I thought, you know, I wish I was more prepared, because it would be great if I had the bags available and you could pick them up before story hour, so you'd have all the stuff to be able to follow along with story hour. I don't know if I'm that organized. It's a goal. So I want to thank Jennifer for asking about that, because now I have a goal to see if through the month of February, can I figure it out so I can have the bags ready to pick up the week before story time? So you wouldn't have to pick up the bag after story time? You would have it already? We'll see if I can get it together and do that. I don't know though. I'm kind of a disorganized person and I fly by the seat of my pants a lot of times. I'll be the night before thinking, oh, I need to add that, or I should do that in story hour. I don't know how many other librarians and people are like that, but that seems to be the way I work. I hope I can get better. We're gonna try. Well, I'm still a little bit early, so let's see. I was gonna say, I think I see Becca not always. Becca will post that they're watching, so maybe Margaret and Wesley and Lizzie are watching. If you are watching, let me know. Tell me who's out there so I can give you a shout out. Say hi. I'm glad you're watching. Another update this week, the library is now open, our normal hours. You can come in. Oh, I see Amber Dawn is watching. Hi, Amber Dawn. The library is now open, our regular hours. We are open from 8 to 7 on Monday through Thursday, and we are open 8 to 5 on Friday and 8 to 4 on Saturday. So you don't have to wait till noon. You can come in our normal times. We still ask that you hand sanitize and wear a mask, because we want to keep you protected. We want you to keep us protected. This virus thing is still out there. We want to stay healthy, but you can come in the normal times. We are still doing curbside. If you would rather order your books and have us bring them out to you curbside, we are doing that. We do it out at the Sherman Street entrance, so you don't have to go through all the people that may be trying to get into City Hall, doing all that stuff. So it's a little more convenient on Sherman Street. We can bring them out. If you are elderly and immune compromised and you would rather have us deliver your books, call us. That is still available. The library is still taking the good deeds orders. Oh, I see Maya's on there. Hi, Maya. Hi, Lincoln. We are still doing the good deeds orders. So if you know somebody that can't get to the grocery store, call the library. We'll take the orders. We pass them on over to City Hall, and some of those girls and guys will fill out the orders and bring them to you. So we are getting back to normal just a little bit. The hours are back to normal. We are still not doing in-house programming. No face-to-face programming yet. It's still a little bit iffy. So I'm still going to be coming to you virtually. I'll be seeing how many mistakes I can make. You guys know, you guys that know me know I am technology challenged, and it's just kind of funny. And I also got to tell you another thing, seeing that Maya and Lincoln are on, I am not very good about going back and watching my videos to see what comments are there. So last night, when I was marking down how many views I've had, I saw Maya's comment about how she giggled on my first video back, where I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. Oh my gosh, I hope you laugh at me, because I gotta laugh at myself. I will try to be better. And like I said, I'm going to work on seeing if I can't have the grab and go activity bags ready before the story hour, so you could pick it up the week before and follow along. You might have to give me the whole month of February to get it figured out, but I'm gonna work on it. Okay, I think it's time. And as I'm sitting here looking at all my songs and finger plays that I have taped to the things in front of me. Some of them are starting to fall down. So it must be time to get started before they all fall down. So if you see me looking around different places, it's because I have my songs and finger plates taped in front of me so I can see them. Okay, it is preschool story time day today, and we're going to start with our new song that I've been learning. To start it, it goes like this. Zoom, zoom, oops, start again. Zoom, 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 let's start our story time. Zoom, 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 we'll play and sing and rhyme. If you want to come along, join me as we start the countdown. Zoom, 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 let's start our story time in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Oh, welcome to Preschool Storytime on Tuesday, February 2nd. Did you know today is a special day? There's been something fun going on already today. February 2nd is called Groundhog's Day. So what's so special about a groundhog? He's a little they call him a marmot. He's kind of like a little weasel, a little woodchuck, one of those little animals that lives underground. What is so special about a groundhog, and why do we celebrate it on February 2nd? Well, there's a legend that says if the groundhog comes out of his burrow on February 2nd, and he looks around and he sees his shadow, it scares him, and he goes back down under his underground into his burrow, and he sleeps for another 6 weeks. It means we'll have 6 more weeks of winter. Now, the only way he would see his shadow is if it's a sunny, bright day out. And when he comes out, if the sun's out, that's how he'd see his shadow, because the sun is what makes our shadow. Now, if he comes out of his burrow and it's not a sunny day, if it's cloudy, cool, windy, and the sun can't, maybe it's foggy. Like this morning at my house, it was kind of foggy, misty. I thought, oh, he's not going to see his shadow. If there is no sun shining to make the shadow, the groundhog won't see his shadow. And then he stays out of his burrow and he plays. And he says, yay, spring is here already. This started in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, because there is a famous groundhog called Punxsutawney Phil. And here's a picture of him. They started this, I have to look at my notes. It says, oops, it's falling down. It says the official groundhog is named Punxsutawney Phil, and he lives at Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. On February 2nd, Phil comes out of his burrow to predict the weather for the rest of the season. The season we're in is winter. And there's usually crowds of onlookers there to watch and see, will he see his shadow? This grand celebration of Groundhog's Day began with Pennsylvania's earliest settlers and has roots in other traditions. So it's been going on for quite a long time. Pennsylvania started it. Maybe they wanted something fun to do in the middle of winter, because February 2nd, why did they choose February 2nd for the groundhog to look for his shadow? February 2nd is exactly in the middle of the winter season. Winter started, let's see, it was on Monday, I wrote it down, Monday, December 21st, 2020 was when our winter season started. And winter will end and spring will start. Let me look at this again. Spring will begin on Saturday, March 20th, 2021. So between December and March, we have our winter season, and February 2nd is right smack dab in the middle. So that means if we have 6 more weeks of winter and it's right in the middle, that means there were 6 weeks we already had. We have 6 more weeks. So anyway, Groundhog's Day, Punxsutawney Phil. He already came out of his burrow in Pennsylvania this morning. I looked it up. He saw his shadow. That means there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. Now, Pennsylvania is 1,400, let me see, I wrote that down too. 1,442 miles away from us. That's a long ways away. If you're driving in a car, that's 21 hours away. That's almost a whole day away. How would it make a difference if the groundhog in Pennsylvania sees his shadow? What about for Sturgis, South Dakota? Have you looked at our weather? Have you looked outside yet? Is it sunny and shiny? Would the groundhog, if he came out of his burrow in Sturgis, see his shadow? Or is it cloudy and cold? Would he stay out? Take a peek, because I already know. When I came into work this morning, I saw shadows. So if the groundhog came up out of his burrow in Sturgis, he saw his shadow. I saw shadows this morning. I'm looking out the window right now and it's sunny and bright and I can see shadows outside there. The groundhog will have seen his shadow in Sturgis. We will have 6 more weeks of winter, which would be great because we haven't really had any winter yet. We need some snow. So groundhog, bring us some snow. All right. Enough of the history of Groundhog's Day. Let's start with a finger play. Let's start with a little rhyme about the groundhog. I found this one online, and it was about 5 little groundhogs. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to change it to make it just one little groundhog. So here's how it goes. Little groundhog crept out of his lair. He sniffed and said, "Is spring in the air? It's February 2nd. The time is right." He looked all around, but the sun was too bright. Little groundhog squeaked, "Oh, my shadow I see! I'm not staying here, not me, no siree." Back to his burrow the groundhog did creep, and for 6 more weeks he stayed fast asleep. I'm pretty sure that's what the groundhog did this morning. He crept out of his burrow, he sniffed the air, used his nose, sniffed the air. You can smell when it's spring, can't you? You can smell the differences in the seasons. It wouldn't have smelled like spring. Well, it would have smelled like spring. I think it was still kind of cold. It's February 2nd. The time would be right. But when the sun was shining, it was too bright. He saw his shadow. You know what a shadow is, right? It's like a silhouette. It's like you, but it's not you because it's all black or all gray. And it depends on where the sun's at, where your shadow lays. Well, if he sees his shadow, and in our poem, the groundhog saw his shadow, so he crept back into his lair and he went back to sleep for 6 more weeks so we can have winter. Oh, groundhog, please, please bring us some snow, bring us some winter. We haven't had any yet. Well, now I'm going to come right up here to my flannel board because I have a little poem here about the groundhog. Here is his lair. Here's his underground. He's under the grass. Here's the hole where he will pop out. But little groundhog is sleeping. I don't know, can you see his eyes are closed? He's sleeping. I'm going to put him right up here in his lair, in his burrow, underneath the hole. This is actually a song, and it goes to the tune of Pop Goes the Weasel. I have to sing it to get it in my head first. Do you know the song about Pop Goes the Weasel? All around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The weasel thought was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. Well, I have to change it to the groundhog. Sleeping, sleeping in the ground all winter long. The little groundhog sleeps so sound. Snore goes the groundhog. There he is, sleeping. Can you snore like a groundhog? Snore goes the groundhog. Sleeping, sleeping all winter long. No. Sleeping, sleeping in the ground all winter long. Little groundhog stretches and wakes. Pop goes the groundhog. When he wakes up, there he is. He pops up out of the ground. Let's see if I can do the next part of it. He rubs his eyes and looks all around. What does he see? He sees the sun so bright and warm. Pop goes the groundhog. Uh-oh, he saw his shadow. He's going away. Sleeping, sleeping all winter long. He's sleeping, sleeping in the ground all winter long. Little Little groundhog sleeps so sound. Snore goes the groundhog. Let's see if I can do that again. Oh, I see someone else. Dolores Ginter is watching. Hello. Let's see if I can do this song again and do it right all the way through. Here we go. Sleeping, sleeping in the ground all winter long. Little groundhog sleeps so sound. Snore goes the groundhog. Sleeping, sleeping in the ground all winter long. Little groundhog stretches and wakes. Pop goes the groundhog. There he is, coming up. He's going to look around. He rubs his eyes and looks all around. What does he see? He sees the sun so bright and warm. Pop goes the groundhog. Oh, he doesn't like that sunshine. He sees his shadow. Sleeping, sleeping in the ground all winter long. Little groundhog sleeps so sound. Snore goes the groundhog. Oh, that time was much better through. All right, groundhog. He did. He popped out this morning at Sturgis. He saw his shadow. He went back underground. He's back under there sleeping. Make some more snoring sounds for me. Snore. Oh, good little groundhogs. Okay. Well, I have another song, and it's like Thumpkin. You know how to do the where's Thumpkin, right? Well, this time our thumbs are going to be our groundhogs. So we're going to put our groundhogs, actually I only need to do one thumb, but we're going to put our groundhogs behind our back. Where is groundhog? Where is groundhog? Here I am, here I am. Shadows on this sunny day, frighten groundhogs all away. Winter will stay, winter will stay. Oh no, he saw a shadow. Where is groundhog? Where is groundhog? Here I am, here I am. My, oh my, a cloudy day. I will stay outside and play. Spring is near, spring is near. Oh, oh. That time he didn't see a shadow and he stayed out, so spring will be coming. Let's try it again now that you've seen how to do it. Get up your groundhogs and let's hide them behind your back. Where is groundhog? Where is groundhog? Here I am, here I am. Shadows on a sunny day, frighten little groundhogs away. Winter will stay, winter will stay. Where is groundhog? Where is groundhog? Here I am, here I am. My, oh my, a cloudy day. I will stay outside and play. Spring is near, spring is near. Thumbs up if spring is near. But guess what? It's sunny and bright. The groundhog was frightened away. We have 6 more weeks of winter coming. Oh my goodness. Well, there's so many things about groundhog, but it's all the same. Either he sees his shadow and he goes back in the underground to sleep, or he doesn't see his shadow and he stays outside to play. Well, I have another story, but to do it, I need to move my flannel board out of the way. There it goes. And I need to bring my table up. I'll go right about there. Because I made a lair, a burrow for the groundhog out of a box. So here is his underground. There's some snow on the ground. We need some snow, groundhog. Bring us some snow. So there is some snow on the ground. Here's where he's going to pop out. And it's just a box. I'm using that for his underground. And groundhog is going to pop out of the box. Let's see if I can make him peek. Can I make him peek? Oh, he peeked at you. You'll be watching for groundhog to come out at the top of the box. Now I found this story on the internet and I forgot to write down who I found it from. I know I go to a lot of different librarians' websites, a lot of different, they have blogs and things to find all my ideas, and this one had this wonderful story she made up about the Groundhog Shadow. I really need to go back and find out who it was and give her credit, because I'm stealing her story to tell to you today. Let's see, I better get my pieces where I can reach them. This is the story of Groundhog Shadow. Groundhog's Day had finally arrived, and little Groundhog was ready to pop out of his hole for the very first time. Now remember, Groundhog's Day is every February 2nd because it's right in the middle of winter, from when winter started till when spring starts. So February 2nd had arrived, the little groundhog was ready to pop out of his hole for the very first time. Trouble was, little groundhog was afraid to pop out of his hole because he was scared of everything. His mama had told him that if he popped up and he saw the shape of a groundhog on the ground, he had to come back into his hole, back into the ground, and hurry back to bed because he needed to sleep for 6 more weeks. So little groundhog mustered up the courage and he stuck his head out of the hole. Now, it was a sunny day and there was a shadow on the ground. Little groundhog is afraid of everything. He saw the shadow. Oh no, is that a groundhog shadow? Oh, it frightened the little groundhog so much, he went back down underground. He thought, that didn't look like a groundhog. Maybe I should check again. Do you think this is the shadow of a groundhog? No. Do you know what is making that shadow? What is that shape? If you could see the real thing instead of the shadow, do you know what that is? Can you tell me what shadow was on the ground? Did you say fish? Yes, that was a fish shadow. That wasn't a groundhog shadow. Well, groundhog wasn't sure, so he thought maybe he should peek back up and see if that was a groundhog shadow or not. So little groundhog got the courage to come up and check the shadow again. There he comes. He's coming. He popped out of his hole. Oh, what did he see? Groundhog, what is that? Oh no, it scared him. What shadow was that? Was that a groundhog? Oh no, that really didn't look like a groundhog either. Perhaps it wasn't. I wonder what shape it is. What shadow was making that? Can you tell? I'll bring it a little closer. It's got a tail. Groundhogs have a tail, but that's not a groundhog. What animal made that shape? Can you tell me? Let me hear you. Yes. That time the shadow was made by a cat. That's not a groundhog. That's a cat shadow. Well, little groundhog decided he better check to make sure. Was that a groundhog shadow or not? So once again, little groundhog popped out of his hole to take a look at the shadow. This time, when he looked on the ground in the snow, he saw that. Oh no, is that a groundhog? Oh, once again, little groundhog dropped back into his hole. He really wasn't sure if he'd seen his shadow or the shadow of something else. What do you think? What do you think was making this shadow? What could that be? Let's see. It's got a head there. Normally, if you could see him, he would have a big shell on his back. Do you know what this shadow is from? Can't tell with my fingers in the way. And then his head falls back. I'll put him back up here. What made this shadow? What shadow did the groundhog see? Tell me. Yes, you're right. It is a turtle. It was a turtle shadow. Oh, that silly groundhog. He didn't need to be afraid of a turtle shadow. Well, he decided he would pop out and take another look. So out of the hole, the groundhog popped. He's getting a little more courageous, not quite as scared. This time when he looked at the shadow on the ground, he looked and looked. Oh, it scared him. Oh no, is that a groundhog shadow? Take a good look. Once again, it's got a tail, but it's got long floppy ears. A groundhog doesn't have long floppy ears. This animal says, woof, 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 woof. What shadow did groundhog see? Yep, you're right. It was a dog. It was the dog shadow he saw this time. Oh no. I'll have to pop out and look again to see, was that a groundhog shadow or not? Maybe I should go ahead and take another look, thought the groundhog. So, I'm gonna move the dog shadow out of the way. Groundhog stuck his head out of the hole for another look. And what did he see on the ground? Is that a groundhog shadow? Oh, it frightened him. Oh, little groundhog, you are scared of everything, aren't you? Oh no, that's not a groundhog shadow though. I really think that was not my shadow, said the groundhog. I think that shadow had wings. I don't have wings. What do you think? Does this shadow have wings? What could this be the shadow of? Oh, are you telling me that it is a butterfly? You are right, it is the butterfly shadow. Should he be afraid of a beautiful little butterfly? Oh, silly groundhog. No, he doesn't need to be afraid of that. Well, I must take another look at that shadow out there and see. So little groundhog decided to try one last time. He crouched down, he got ready, and he popped up as fast as he could. And do you know what he saw? This time, do you know what the shadow was? It was a monster! Oh no! Little groundhog was so frightened, he went back underground and he went back to bed for 6 more weeks. He was not ready to see more shadows. Oh, look at this. Can you tell what shadow that is? Is it the groundhog shadow? Did he finally see his shadow? Let me bring him out here again, and we'll take a look. Does it have the same little fuzzy hairs? Does it have the same big fuzzy cheeks and the same feet? It is. It's the groundhog shadow. The groundhog saw his shadow, so he's going back into his hole to hide and sleep for another 6 weeks. So winter can come, so we can have some winter. Oh, groundhog has been so much fun with the shadows. But you know what? Groundhogs aren't the only ones that make shadows. You make a shadow too. And I have one more poem, one more finger play to do with you about your shadow. We're going to pretend this is me. If I walk, my shadow walks with me. If I run, my shadow runs with me. See I'm running? My shadow's right back here behind me. Run, run, run. And when I stand still, as you can see, my shadow stands beside of me. When I hop, my shadow hops with me. And when I jump, did you see my shadow? I jumped and my shadow jumped with me. And when I sit, as you can see, my shadow sits beside of me. Let's see if you can do that with me. Put up your you and your shadow. If I walk, my shadow walks with me. If I run, my shadow runs with me. And when I stand still, as you can see, my shadow stands beside of me. When I hop, my shadow hops with me. When I jump, my shadow jumps with me. And when I sit, as you can see, my shadow will sit beside of me. I want to challenge you today. Go outside and look for some shadows. I told you on my way into work this morning when I was driving into work, the sun was shining and I saw shadows. I saw the shadow of my car driving beside of me. I saw the shadow of the pickup in front of me driving beside it. The shadow was following our vehicles. And when I passed by trees, the tree would stand there and right beside of it was the shadow of a tree. Go outside and see if you can, one, see your shadow. Can you find your shadow? Where is your shadow? Two, see if you can find the shadow of a tree. See if you can find the shadow of, do you have a pet? Will your pet make a shadow? Maybe you want to take a walk around the block and see what kinds of shadows you can find. Can you find tree shadows, house shadows, sign shadows? Maybe you want to just go around in your backyard. Do you have a swing set or anything? Any kind of play equipment in your backyard? See if you can find the shadow from that. Maybe the sun is out. Maybe the sun's not quite there yet. But go outside and look for some shadows. Now, I don't have any groundhog books to show you today because everybody is celebrating Groundhog's Day. So when you get your grab and go bag, I'm going to have a list in there of all the groundhog books the library has, even though they're checked out right now and you can't check them out. But I also have a list. I thought, well, I still want you to see groundhog stories. So my favorite place to watch read alouds is on YouTube. And I put some of my favorites. Oh, you really do need to go on YouTube and look for who will see their shadows this year. It has lots of different animals, like a peacock. Have you ever seen a peacock shadow? It has a koala bear shadow. It has a panda bear shadow. It has a bison, buffalo shadow. It was such a fun story. So go ahead and go on YouTube and look for that, who will see their shadows this year. There's also Wake Up Groundhog. That was a cool book. The Day I Met My Shadow. It's not a groundhog, it's a person in their shadow. The Night Before Groundhog's Day. I love those night before books. We have several at the library, but we don't have the Night Before Groundhog's Day. And then you might have heard of the poem by Robert Frost called My Shadow. They have a video it's Dandelion Den. It's 1 minute and 37 seconds long to watch My Shadow on YouTube. That'll all be on your grab and go bag. And your grab and go bag doubles as your craft this time. Okay, inside the grab and go bag is the pages with our songs and our poems and the stories, the books that we have, the stories on YouTube, and then it shows you the instructions to make your craft. So, when I look in the bag, I have green paper. I have white paper. I have a black pom-pom. And I have a piece of brown paper. And taped to it with removable tape are wiggle eyes. You're going to turn your grab and go bag into a groundhog puppet. So let me show you. Now I don't have any more glue to put in here. I ran out of glue, so I hope you have some glue sticks or some kind of glue at home so you can put together your very own groundhog puppet. Hello, everybody. Whoops. Hello, everybody. Now you will see with the brown paper, I cut out some ears and glued them on. I used the black pom-pom to glue on his nose. I took the white paper, I cut it in half, and then I just cut off the tops corners to make his teeth. Then I used glue on the wiggle eyes. Then I just used my marker, but if you have a crayon, you can draw his whiskers, his mouth. The one thing I forgot to put on mine that you will see on your instructions is draw him some paws. Draw your groundhog some paws. And then the green paper, you just cut it up into little strips. Not all the way down, cut down part way on your paper, and then glue it on so your groundhog can be underground. And there you go. You have your very own groundhog puppet. Maybe you can go around, take him different places and see if you can find his shadow. Oh, I hope you have a great Groundhog's Day. It has been so much fun to tell groundhog songs and stories and finger plays on his very own special day. Now don't forget, the grab and go bags are available all week. You can stop in anytime to pick it up. And I think I've gone over my time. It's time for us to sing our goodbye song. And you know what? I'm always afraid I'm going to forget how it goes. But let's see if I can remember. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug. Blow a kiss, jellyfish. See you soon, big baboon. Out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear. Wave goodbye, butterfly. Have a great Groundhog's Day, and I'll see you later.